Well, we know that Mardi Gras means king cake season, but this is also the time of year when we start seeing fresh strawberries sold at roadside stands. As TWILA's Neil Melancon tells us, the weather is finally cooperating with strawberry farmers after last year's devastating floods.
These fields in Ponchatoula may not be ready for harvest, but they are full of Louisiana strawberries. Now, that may not seem like such a big deal, but for grower William Fletcher, it is for this time of year.
What we're seeing right now is we've got a lot of blooms starting to come out, and they're making some beautiful blooms. Anytime you see blooms this size, they're going to make some really nice berries. You know, this plant has a few berries that are starting to come on it now. And what we would ordinarily be doing in February is pulling this row cover over the top of them to guard them against the cold weather.
In fact, Fletcher believes that Louisiana strawberry crop will be a month ahead of where it normally is, meaning one can expect fresh strawberries at the grocery store a month ahead of time. The unusually warm weather this year has to be good news for Fletcher, though, right?
We are cautiously optimistic that we're going to have a good berry season.
There's a reason he's cautious here in 2017. That reason is 2016.
I actually woke up at midnight on New Year's Eve not to say hello to 17, but to say goodbye to 16.
You may have seen the reports on last year's floods, first in the spring in North Louisiana generally, and then in August in South Louisiana. Ponchatoula, though, got hit by both.
When all the water came from the Tangipahoa River, which is straight through there, it came from the northwest and picked up a lot of that topsoil and ran it over the top of these fields, ruining the field behind me completely.
When the August floods hit, it set a new record for this area.
The crest at Robert, Louisiana was 25.5 in March. The all-time high crest in 1921 was 27 feet even. And in August of this year, it set a new record at 27 foot 3 inches.
That meant at least 1.5 feet of water over Fletcher's fields here a mile away from the Tangipahoa River.
And the ground that I'm standing on here is literally right across the street, right across my driveway from the berry fields, and all this grass washed out of fields that we had bush hogged last summer. So I mean, you're seeing how deep the water was over the fields, and like I say, I'm standing on higher ground here than we have in the fields over there.
Fletcher's next door neighbor Eric Morrow said his 2016 was a total wash, both figuratively and literally.
We took a flood where the fields that we're standing in right now were completely underwater, probably about 2 feet underwater, our plants and everything. So we had lost a complete year of harvest.
Morrow said things have turned around so far this year in these fields, and the season is ripe for a change.
Shoot, I'm standing out here in shorts in the first week of February, so everything's looking really good. You know, if we don't really have any hard freezes in March, or we get really cold, I think we're going to have a great season. We're going to kick off and have early berries.
For Fletcher's part, he's just happy to be here.
I am ecstatic to be standing in the middle of my strawberry crop and to be able to tell you that I am still a strawberry farmer.
One of the great advantages of coming out here early and doing a story like this is that you get access to these great Louisiana strawberries, some of which are already ready to go. And they're already sweet and delicious. But don't worry, strawberries like this one are coming to a market near you real soon.
So when you're taking that first delicious bite of Louisiana strawberry this year, don't forget to thank the farmers who have been through so much to bring them to you.
Now, if you'd like to sink your teeth into some of those strawberries like I did, there are a couple of places you can get them, one of which is the Red Stick Farmers Market as well as local grocery stores. Also, don't forget about the annual Strawberry Festival coming up April 7th through the 9th there in Ponchatoula. Well, while I was talking with William Fletcher, I got to ask him about farm labor. Almost all of the strawberries we eat, no matter where they come from, are brought in by the hands of migrant laborers. Fletcher said without them, we not only wouldn't enjoy this sweet Louisiana favorite, but he would be willing to hire labor here locally in a heartbeat.
You put the ads in the paper and nobody really calls. It's hard work, for one thing. It's very hard work, and it's all outdoors. You know, I just don't know if folks just aren't into this anymore.
Now here in Louisiana, there are about 350 acres of strawberries grown by about 80 growers, and all of them rely on that labor Fletcher was talking about. Fletcher himself is an avid fan of the H-2A program, which legally brings in migrant labor into the U.S. And of course, Kristen, one thing I wanted to say about 350, acres of strawberries, it doesn't seem a lot. One funny story is when I started working 20 years ago at Farm Bureau, I'd been doing grain farms, and grain farms are 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 acres. So I went out to do my first strawberry farm, which was 10 acres of strawberries. And I was like, 10 acres, it's going to be nothing. That's a lot of strawberries.
That's a lot of strawberries. It's a lot of work, too.
Every 2 days, they bring in 100 flats per acre. So every 2 days, 350,000 acres of strawberries in Louisiana. That's a lot of strawberries.
Well, I got excited when I saw you were doing this story because I just planted 3 strawberry plants in my garden, but I have a feeling that since they're already harvesting, that maybe I planted them a little bit too late.
Maybe, but of course, this is really unusually early for strawberries this year. So if they get grown and get going by March, you should be okay.
Maybe we'll keep my fingers crossed. Neil Melancon, thanks.